Hello everyone and welcome back to Java Forever course. Currently we are learning about iterations or loops. In the previous classes we have learned about while and for loop. We also learned about nested loops. In a couple of previous classes we learned about some of the tips and tricks to write optimal loops. In today's class we are going to look into one more tips on how to write less lines of code so that we make processor work less and our optimal code runs faster and gives desired output. When we talk about writing optimal code, there are two reasons why we want to do that. Number one is saving the processing time, the time it takes for your code to run. Even though nowadays processors are pretty fast, when you run your code on smaller numbers, for example, iterating from 1 to 50 or 1 to 100, you will not see any noticeable difference. But when you run this code on millions of numbers, then you will see processing time processor taking considerable amount of time. Number two is the more lines of code you write, the chance of error is higher. That is why we should write what is really necessary and eliminate what's not necessary. Now, when it comes to the loop, we'll take one example and understand what I mean and how we can optimize or how we can break out of the loop. We have already learned about a keyword called a break that we use to get out of a loop. And we will apply that and another technique to exit a loop when it is necessary, when our work is already done. You can see in the logic here that we are taking a value, let's say 50. Consider this as a key code in a digital lock. So in the digital lock, we have to find a combination of numbers to enter, and maybe one more. And on this one, on the keypad, this is the keypad, we have to press two numbers, to get 50. Now let's see if we are trying to find this combination in a number from 1 to 100. Now that number is 2-digit, 50, we'll start with 10 and go up to 100, but not really including 100 because it is in between. Starting with 10, we'll go up to 99. So that's what we are exactly doing. We are starting with 10. We are going up to 99 and we are increasing the value by 1. And we are checking if this I, in the first time it will be 10, next time it will be 11, 12 and so on. If this value is same as number 50, which is our key. If answer is yes, then this is the number we found and we found our key. We'll use a variable to set value whether the key underscore found equal to true. In the beginning, we will say that key underscore found is false. By default, you assume that it is false. And once you find a value, then you set the value as true. And at the end of the loop, when the loop finishes, this line of code, if will run, it will check if key found is true, then it will print the key code is 50 or key code is found. We could have put it in an else statement and say your key was not found. Now, one thing you will notice here is that irrespective of key found at 50, the loop will continue and will go to after 50, even though this condition is met and we set the value to true, it will go to 51, 52 and go up to 99 to finish the loop. We are not exiting the loop as soon as the key is found, which ideally we should have done that. Now there are two ways to do this, two ways to tell processor to stop in the loop because we already found our number, isn't it? So how we do it, there are two possibilities as I mentioned. One is using the break statement. When we write a break statement, all we have to do is as soon as key is found, we insert a statement or keyword called break. And this will force processor to stop processing and get out of this loop. That means it will go after this, it will go immediately after the end curly braces of the for loop. The break statement makes the processor jumps out of the for loop. That means after 50, it is not going to process. And that way we stopped processor from processing 51 onwards up to 99 because it is not necessary. Assume this number was only 11. We would have done only two iterations, 10 and 11, and exit. And that is what I mean by optimizing our code so that we don't make processor do unnecessary work. That's one way of using, using the break statement. That's one way of achieving what we want. Then there is a second way I would like to show you. The second way is using a flag and a condition, and use the flag in the condition. So let's see that we define a flag called key found equal to false. We will go and iterate it, and we'll say if I is less than 100, and this time I'm going to use a while loop. And as I said in the past, you can use while loop or you can use for loop to do the same thing. In this case, rather than using a for, I'm using a while loop because I want to take I up to 100 or maybe less than 100. And you can see I declared a variable before I'm using it in the while loop into I equal to 10. And I'm saying if I is less than 100 and key is not found, then continue the iteration. And then inside, I'm incrementing the value by myself. In the for loop, we write for and we say I equal to I plus plus. Same thing I have to do it here, because if I don't do that, I will never increase and then I may run into an infinite loop. So remember the tips I told you. When you use a variable, make sure you update it inside the while loop. So that is what I'm doing it here. And I'm also, as soon as the number is found, then I will be setting the value to true, so that next time when it goes, even though I is less than 100, the second condition will become false, because key found will become true and true is not equal to false, right? So that means it will exit the loop. And that is what I mean by, in fact, not exit the loop here. It will exit the loop and it will go here and it will go and print the number here. That is what I meant by exiting the loop. So you can use you can use a flag and use a while loop to achieve the same, or you can use for, but in that case, then you should use a break. Okay, that's all in today's class. Go ahead and take the quiz and practice, because practice is the only way you will learn coding. Our team has put a lot of effort in building these quizzes, and it is meant for you to practice and learn and master the skill. I'll see you guys again in the next class. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. Do subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.